Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time there was a kind little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She always wore a bright red cloak with a bright red hood. I loved it so much I never take it off. Little Red Riding Hood lived with her mother on the edge of some deep, dark woods, map of the deep, dark woods. Mother Red Riding Hood. Our little cottage. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother gave her a pot of vegetable soup. Granny's cottage. Granny's Red Riding Hood. Take this to your grandmother, she said. She's not feeling well. But remember the rules of the woods. Her mother added. Rules of the woods. Keep to the path. Don't talk to wolves. I will promise Little Red Riding Hood, and she sits off. Ha! There goes my lunch. At fast, the sun shone, and the birds sang. Little Red Riding Hood hummed a little tune. Ha ha! Bent down to tie her shoelaces, skipped along the path, and stopped to smell the flowers at last. Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood, called a woodcutter rat. Good morning, said Little Red Riding Hood. Wait to hear. No, I'll run ahead and wait for her. Little Red Riding Hood walked deeper into the woods. Then the sun hid behind the clouds, and it got dark still. Come on, lunch. Where are you? So, Little Red Riding Hood don't see the wolf waiting for her on the path. And the wolf did see Little Red Riding Hood either. My tail, oops. Little Red Riding Hood stamped on the wolf's tail, then on his paw, my paw, and dropped her basket smacked on his head, my head. Look, where you going? Said the wolf humbly. But you were in the middle of the path, said Little Red Riding Hood. She had forgotten the rules. Don't talk to wolves. What have you got in the basket? Asked the wolf. Running. Vegetable soup, whispered Little Red Riding Hood. I'm taking it to my grandmother. Taking it to my grandmother. Vegetables, cried the wolf. How revolting. only eat juicy red meat. I never touch vegetables. Had a hat. Now time for my lunch. The wolf was about to gob up Little Red Riding Hood, but he had an idea. Perhaps I can eat Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, he thought. He put on his soft voice. Where does your grandmother live? He asked. In the cottage on the other side of the woods, said Little Red Riding Hood. How perfect, thought the wolf, rumped in his tummy. How delicious. Let yourself in, said the grandmother, and took weeks to get up. The wolf leaped into the room. He gobbled up Little Red Riding Hood. Grandmother, bum, but not bad. Then he climbed into bed to wait for Little Red Riding Hood. Soon he heard a knock at the door. Who's there? He said. Your granddaughter, Little Red Riding Hood. Let yourself in, called the wolf. I'm too weak to get up. He pulled on the grandmother's cap and hid under the blanket. I've brought you some vegetable soup, said Little Red Riding Hood. Lovely, snarled the wolf. I mean lovely. He added in a squeak. Put the basket on the stool and come and sit next to me. Little Red Riding Hood looked at her grandmother. She looked again. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big ears you have. All the better to her. Here, you wish, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood came closer to the bed. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood came closer still. Oh, grandmother, she said, what big hairy hands you have. All the better to hug you with, said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood was now standing right next to the bed. But grandmother, she cried, what big snapped teeth you have. All the better to eat you with, snapped the wolf. He jumped out of bed and gobbled on Little Red Riding Hood. Delicious. For at last, he said, licking his lips. Then he lay down on the bed to sleep. As the wolf slept, he snored very loud. He snored so loudly the woodcutter heard him. I've never heard the old woman snore that loudly, he thought. I'll just make sure she's okay. But the woodcutter couldn't see the grandmother anywhere. only a very fat wolf. Oh no, thought the woodcutter. The wolf's eaten the old woman. Just then the woodcutter had an idea. Perhaps the old woman is still inside you. I might be about to save her. He licked up some scissors. Then he snapped open the wolf's tummy. Snip, snip, he saw a bright red hole. Snip, snip, Little Red Riding Hood's head hopped out. Keep cutting, she cried. Grandmother's still in there. Snappily snap, faster and faster. The woodcutter kept cutting down until Grandmother popped out too. I fell asleep quick as a flash. Little Red Riding Hood ran outside and kept us last of stones. The woodcutter put them in the wolf's tummy, and the grandmother swung the tummy up. Then the wolf woke up. He tried to sneak out of the door, but the stone rattled inside him. Now everyone can hear you coming, said the woodcutter, laughing.